There
is some other stuff.
Bindy Barclay.
But I'll take that off. Is that right? Good, thank you.
It's not. Oh, sorry, they're not here. Welcome.
Good afternoon. Thank you for hearing my views. Firstly, you asked, have we got the game plan right? Well, I don't think any of us are here to play at this, so I think you got the tagline wrong. With regard to the land drainage targeted rate, our property is at 259 Old Tapu Road, which is the southern west rural corner of the city. 3 drains run across our land which carry all the water that leaves Lansdowne Valley. Minson's Drain is part of the Horswell Drainage District. It is managed by the Drainage District Committee and maintained by ECAN. This meets Jones Creek on our property, a natural waterway which is fed from properties in both the city and Selwyn. We also convey stormwater in an open drain from a good part of Early Valley Road, which also means water from both Christchurch City and Selwyn, and by implication the stormwater from further up also comes through. The drain progresses past our home under Old Tapu Road to the Horsell River and eventually out to Lake Ellesmere. We do significant maintenance to these drains ourselves and we work very well with ECAN. We understood from the Council's letter that the proposed rate change would see the existing rates reapportioned to achieve a more distributed financial responsibility. The letter was difficult and ambiguous and we did not have very much time to research. Further research since submitting has clarified that the Horswell Drainage District, as I understand it, is not even included in the proposal and that an additional rate will be charged to us that doesn't relate to our water at all. I therefore withdraw my support and urge further clarification and consultation on this matter. I draw your attention, carrying on Old Tapu Road, to the fact that this road is not included in any plan for cycleway and is extremely dangerous and should be prioritised in the 10-year plan. And this again raises the issue of the Christchurch City-Selwyn boundary. You can't ignore it, safety has to come first. Finally, a comment on heritage. The owners of the Arts Centre took responsibility for their heritage buildings and they restored them competently and without question. I totally support the Council contributing to the Arts Centre restoration. It is an iconic asset for our past, for our future, and its restoration has contributed significantly to the mental health of a recovering city. The Robert McDougall Gallery had the potential to do this. The Council has full ownership and responsibility under an Act of Parliament to care for this building, and it has woefully reneged on this responsibility. During discussions with one of your councillors and following a very positive meeting with senior staff, interested parties, including myself, were assured that the Council was committed to the restoration of the Robert McDougall, that is, to restoring its original built form and to its reinstatement as an art gallery. I am fully aware of the technical relationship of the Category 1 listed building to its neighbour, the museum. As I read it, this plan proposes waterproofing in 2023, which makes no sense at all. The base isolation, a necessary requirement to quite literally support the Canterbury Museum. The Council closed the gallery long before the quake. It has a costed scope of works and an expert heritage assessment in its possession for many years. There appears to be no restoration budgeted for the next 10 years. Therefore, this suggests that the gallery will remain closed, allowed to languish and become increasingly derelict for a total of 30 years. Thank you.
Just on that final point, I will say that the reason for canvassing opinion on the base isolation was that that was the resolution that was carried in the last or the previous annual plan, that we would actually consult on that as part of the redevelopment proposal of the museum. So it's part of a connected redevelopment project.
Yeah, I think I made it clear that I understand that.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Did I miss anything in the 10-year plan for restoration of the Robert McDougall?
No, well, it comes into the museum then. So it would still be in the ownership of the council, but with the base isolation, it becomes part of the museum redevelopment plan. So yes, it would be redeveloped as part of that plan, but it would only be used for the purposes set out in the legislation.
So I draw your attention then to the other part of my submission. I make a suggestion in the event the museum does not go ahead.
Yes, okay, that's brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Right, now we've got we had a 15-minute adjournment scheduled for this time, so